Ooh, good afternoon. Sunday. I was going to finish drinking my coffee while we wait for a few of you lovelies to call in. I've been working on the stable block all day. I've just come over to use my gym for a bit, but I thought let's come and have a chat with you, lovely lot, first. Yeah, happy Sundays. How we doing, peeps? Nice to see you. See you nice. I've entitled this video Attack Dogs Maul Woman. Yeah, unbelievable scenes yesterday. And look, if you find anybody right out there prepared to make excuses, try and swerve the issue and accept the fact that this is normal behaviour, that she somehow deserved it. There was people on Facebook yesterday saying, oh, wow, she was doing this, doing that. It's deserved to be mauled by the dogs. The police sent probably German Shepherds in. I know that the police do use squadrons of Rottweilers as well. Now, you're talking to someone that's had 2 Rottweilers. They're lethal machines. And I mean absolutely lethal. If a Rottie decided that you was going to get it, you're going to get it. But the point is I never bought mine up like that. Mine used to smile at you. If it attacked my missus, that would have been a different story. You probably would have had your testicles handed to you on a plate in garlic. But nonetheless, look, if you're making excuses for the police, and this woman has now been labelled in the paper as having life-changing injuries. Life-changing injuries. It's disgusting. What sort of a country am I living in? I'm going to get a picture up over here of a Gestapo man with an attack dog. And I want you to tell me whether you see much difference between this picture, German soldier with dog. Let's have a look. Do you know one of my... It bothers me immensely. There was a film that I watched years and years ago, German with soldier with dog. I don't want MG42, although similar sort of things. They're all killing things, aren't they? Here we go. Anyone see any difference to that than the police? Can someone? And I like to bring you these images. I like to make things a bit graphic. Anyone seen the difference? Can you see the difference? Looks like a train line on the way to one of the concentration camps there, eh? It bothers me immensely, ladies and gentlemen. There's no excuse. I watched a video the other day of a guy that the DWP, the Department of Work and Pensions, all these departments and big government, personally for me, is no different like than communism, because they say, oh, you live in a community. No, I don't live in a community. Community is a communism. I'm not having it. The colour of the uniform is the only difference. Exactly, Durf. Lovely to see you, son. Canal boat dogs, lovely dogs. Rottweiler. Not heard of this story. It's up north somewhere. They was out demonstrating, and this woman sat on the floor in a complete mess after these dogs has ravaged her. And the police obviously are letting it disgusts me. One of the most harrowing scenes I ever watched in a film was a film about a guy called Schindler. And Schindler got a lot of German kids out of Germany, so they didn't go to concentration camps, and was a hero. And listen, Schindler wasn't the only one. There was lots of men and women that wrestled many children out of Nazi Germany to get them to safety and freedom, and they lived fulfilled lives. The part in Schindler's List is when they're rushing all off to a gas chamber, and this little kid, naked, running down his thing, gets left and straggled behind. And this German soldier stood there just holding his dog with his Uberfuhrerism, his commanding position, and he just lets the dog go, and the dog goes hurtling towards the kids. And obviously they don't show the scene, but that just tremors me. It tremors me to the ground. And if you're making excuses for the police attacking people with dogs that are just out demonstrating this, that, the other, I don't know what to say. I can't see any excuse at all to have any public servants doing these things. And you might say, yeah, oh, well, Dave, we need protecting. Well, protecting from who? Who are we being protected from? If we was a nation that was embroiled in greatness and love and all the other stuff, we wouldn't have a people out of control like they are. We wouldn't have all these snowflakes. We wouldn't have all these stupid things happening because there would be a deterrent, right? We always used to have the rule of law. If you knew you murdered, you paid the price for it, right? We don't have that now. We send them for psychological counselling. We send them in for this, that. Lord knows. I mean, I remember years ago seeing Myra Hindley walk down Rochester High Street with 2 prison officers, and prison guards were about 15 foot behind her. She just walking casually down the road, and I looked at her, I thought, that's Myra fucking Hindley. She was at Borstal. She was at Rochester. She was at Cookham Wood. And I'm like, wow, unbelievable. Mikey Reynolds, all right, Squire, how are you, gorgeous? Until people unite and say enough, they will continue to steal our freedoms until we have none left. Yeah, they are. They're going that way. But this is harrowing scenes. You can't justify any public servants with attack dogs mauling women. I'm sorry, no. And you know, where does the level of violence stop? You know, does it get worse than attack dogs? Do they start shooting us on the street and let the dog dine out? Is the dog's going to end up dining out on carcasses? Lord only knows. All I know is that the great people of this country, England and Scotland and Wales, are now starting to wake up. Starting to wake up big time. I've got something in my throat. I've been working in the stables all day. Probably got a cobweb down me. Could end up with a Rona later. You never know, do you? Nice bit of coffee. And our friend Teresa's here. She's got a friend called, she lives local, trying to think what her name is. And she said, she sounds like a conspiracy theorist now. She said, I'm getting the ump with all this lockdown, mate. The amount of people that are getting the ump with all this lockdown bollocks. And apparently now you're not going to be having Christmas Day off either. Boris and not that lot are saying, oh, no. I've seen pictures of a woman that's had the vaccine and both the bottom of her feet are black. And she's not a black woman. She's a white woman. And it's made it all go funny, bruising and all her heels are cracked. Fucking hell, mate. Sorry, but... and I listened to some scientist or something the other day, or a doctor making excuses. Oh, yes, well, he says, you know, vaccines in the past have taken 10 years to do this, that, because there's a lot of wasted time, this, that, the other. I thought to myself, you would be saying that. You would be saying that. I ain't having it. Everyone should join Dave on Wake Up UK at 9 o'clock on Thursday for a real go at it live chat. Yes, great idea. wakeupuk.co.net, wakeupuk.net. Come and join us. Come on now, Thursday nights, 9 o'clock. We have a right old rant. It's fantastic. Spear Thrower comes and joins us as well. NSP, Sturgeon, closes Scottish borders. Scottish borders are closed. I thought one of them died the other day, but it was I thought Nicola Sturgeon died. Jimmy Cranky, but it was one of the Chuckle Brothers, wasn't it? Was it one of the Chuckle Brothers? No, it weren't the Chuckle Brothers. It was Cannon and Ball, wasn't it? It was Bobby Balls passed away. Hiya, Hugh. How you doing, gorgeous? You all right? Yeah. It's interesting. We're really weird times, man. Weird times. You know, like I said the other week, you know, I've got no beef with the man that runs the tool station down at Tunbridge. In fact, he's probably a really lovely guy. But he just went berserk at me. And I understand why, because the amount of fear that's been placed into him, you know, everything he's hearing on the news, the telly, the newspapers, Lord knows wonder. And you know, taking private attacks out on me on messengers, like, you're the reason why this second lockdown's coming. I'm like, mate, listen. If you don't like your lungs and you don't like fresh air, that's not my problem. I will not hide my face from God. I am not walking around with a muzzle on. Sorry. No, not having it. Not walking around with a muzzle on. The only time they're going to put 2 things behind my ear and put a muzzle on me is when I'm laying on a slab in a mortuary. That's going to be the only time. But I'm glad people are seeing it for what it is now. My friend Steph, she's just been to Mason Hospital, have some blood stuff done. For some tests she's been having done. Luckily for her, she got an appointment at Mason Hospital. And she said the COVID ward is shut. It's not even manned. There's nobody manning it. There's no staff, no nurses, no doctors putting fingers up bums anywhere in Maidstone Hospital on a COVID ward. Not a chance. We know these Nightingale hospitals throughout the whole of this thing. Oh, we're building these massive hospitals. We're converting the Excel Centre. There's going to be thousands and thousands of people going down. They're shutting up, decommissioning. 20 beds. 20 beds. Look, I'm not suggesting that coronavirus ain't real. And to be fair, I would say coronavirus is the longest lasting thing that the Chinese have ever produced. My God, everything you normally get from China breaks within a week or two. Not this. It's been almost a year now. Well done, the Chinese, eh? Who names a child Cressida Dick, or is it just my mind? Exactly. I will let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that there was a judge that I sat on a case quite a few years ago in the gallery for a guy called Bob Fiddler. And Bob, I don't know if you remember, he built a big house behind bales of hay, bales of straw. And then after he'd built it and built this beautiful thing in between two big corn silos, they dropped it anyway, got done for it. But I was in court with him and got the old kung flu, yeah. And I'm in the court with Bob, and like the judge, his name was Mr. Judge, and I'm like, that can't be the judge's name, man. It's got to be Rumpole of the Bailey or something like that. What's going on here? And my mate says, you do know they got fictions as titles. It's called the fiction of names. They work under fictional titles. Well, we all do. We all do. You're all dead. You're all dead to these people. You're all dead. They're operating in necromancy. It's unbelievable. No worse than fluid or cold. Look, I know people that have had this, whatever it is, but most survive. No one's really dying of it. 30, 40,000 people a year die of the flu in this country. We get thousands and thousands of people die each day of cancer. We get thousands of people die of heart attacks, diabetes, which is a particularly nasty thing. Diabetes can be reversed, by the way. It's all to do with your enzymes of your body, sugar levels, this, that, the other. And we can tell you about supplementation that can reverse that. We are really in just weird times. But the police, from the beginning of this pandemic, scamdemic, I've always thought this is the New World Order out in full view. They're not hiding no more. And this is all tying in with the European Union. Yeah, leaving the EU, are we? I don't think so. Only in name only. You might think that you've left the European Union, but like everything, the world is a stage. And you've got to understand, right, that the people that hold the purse strings, the big ones at the top, that they always implement these things. No matter what it is, they're the orchestrators of all these things that roll out. Let me tell you, they pull the strings, mate. They're like, we're all the puppets. And they're up here having a laugh. Like the gods in the heavens looking down. Oh, look what they're doing. Bless them. Look, we've got all these people that are very, very high or think they're very high in this world and around this country, in the political world and the crown corporations, all dropping these little bombs and everything. And we're all scurrying around like little ants, not knowing whether we're going on. Right now, this one was funny the other day. Someone said about black ants and red ants. If you put black ants and red ants together, right, they get on all right. Put them in a jar, shake the jar up. They all think everyone's attacking one another, and they all attack one another until there's only a couple standing. That's exactly the same as what government does with us. Consider us then red and black ants in the same jar, not moving all the way, and then they shake it up. That's all that they've done with this coronavirus and Brexit and all the other fiascos. And Nigel Farage and all these other people, they're the ones that are shaking the jars, you see. They're the ones that are calling this all out. And everyone's reacting to it. And we've got to stop reacting to it, right? Because if you keep saying things like coronavirus and lockdown, you manifest it. You actually bring it into your existence. Why would you want to do that? Don't get it myself, personally. The elites are in a panic. Trump is taking them down. I actually think Trump is the man, and I can't see President Trump going nowhere whatsoever. Now, do I trust him? No, he's a politician, man. They all lie. My mate, who's ex-CID, said to me, how do you know when a politician's lying, Dave? We'd had a few beers, was in Portugal. I said, I don't know. He said, their lips are moving. You can't argue with that. They're natural-born liars. I got one last week, and it's Better Talk Thursday. Missed ya. Blessed ya. I know a woman called Wolf who was born a fox. Anyone know this woman that got attacked by the attack dogs yesterday? Like I say, there ain't no difference in this picture, man. I'm telling you. You look at the Metropolitan Police now, right, or any of the police forces around the country, and you tell me you see any different from that. Do you see any difference in that? I don't see. And that's why we have an Uber Führer in this country now. That's why the system don't care what it does to us. Don't care. Here's another one for you. Here's another one. These are the people we've got running this country now. You will do what we say. Else, you're going to have a bit of it. And I don't think you can find any excuse for setting dogs on anybody, causing life-changing injuries. Not they've ripped her leg off or she's lost 2 nipples. Life-changing injuries. And that is to suppress you so you don't get too upset by it. If you'd have heard that she'd had both her nipples ripped off by this dog, you'd be like, oh, that tastes... She's had he bit her vagina off. What's all that about? Yeah, you get a little bit tasty, a little bit upset by it. But because it's been dressed up by the mainstream media, it's all right. It's only life-changing injuries. It don't matter. She's going to get on. Our public servants are well out of control. Only the police, by the way. Although they do work all hand in hand, the NHS, turn a blind eye to police atrocities. Nurses, doctors, all that, when they come in and the cuffs are too tight and the wrists are bleeding, they'll turn a blind eye. They turn a blind eye to it, which makes them complicit. I could never turn a blind eye to it. If I was a doctor in a hospital and a copper come in and a kid's wrists were bleeding because his cuffs are too tight, I'd tell him to take the fucking cuffs off. And I wouldn't stop until that had happened because I can't stand the violence levels that these people are now smacking on us. And if you're not getting upset by what happened yesterday, this woman with these attack dogs, let me tell you, could be knocking on your door anytime. You do know if the police come round your house and you go on a little stalk out and you're under your bed or whatever, they do let the dogs in, and the dogs will look at that. Oh, I've got to cut him off. God, Jesus, they will attack you. And they will bite your arms off, rip all your limbs. Can you imagine? I just want you to put yourself in that situation for a second. Imagine you're that woman there yesterday, right? You might have been giving the police a bit of jip. Why not? That's what public servants are there for. That's because they chose to serve, remember? And they just let the dogs go. Bosh, dropped her. Oh, she only got half a leg now. That's all right. She's got another one. She'll be out wobble about. Crime Bodge, one of my most favourite channels on YouTube. He shared a video where the DWP dragged the guy after smashing both his windscreens, by the way. His driver's side window, rear quarter, and passenger side smashed all that. And that triplex is floating around. This geezer's hanging onto his steering wheel for dear life. Can you imagine how scary that is when coppers are kicking your back doors in and there's windows going everywhere else? It's probably like going down a fucking 747. You're holding on to dear life and praying and doing Hail Marys. And they drag him out, and this copper's digging him in the ribs with his asp. Bosh, have some of that. And when he's got him out on the floor, this copper who's now in prison for paedophiling, and I'm hoping he's getting a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll say no more. A little bit of, hello, son. Yeah, oh, I dropped the soap. Oh, saucy. Yeah, he's smashed his geezer so hard in his kneecap twice with his ass. He's shattered his kneecap. This guy will never be the same again. He can't do sports. He can't do this. He can't do that because of what this copper's done to him. Has the copper been reprimanded? No. The only reason he's been in prison and not in uniform anymore is because he's been caught for child sexualization. The only reason. Actually, no, it wasn't child sexualization. He was sexually accosting a woman that had mental health issues and taking advantage of her. Probably had his hand in her purse, you know what I'm saying, as he was giving her. These people are fucking devils, man. I'm telling you. But they're a snake pit. One of my mates, he's ex-SO19, right? He's a Trojan. He was a Trojan. He's retired now. And he trains. He does a lot of training. He trains a lot of people up on firearms, this, that, the other. And he come under the cosh quite a few years ago. Oh, my God. Jesus, Dave. He come under the cosh quite a few years ago. That's better. He come under the cosh. I don't know what it's all about. Maybe I've got a high frequency today and it's just coming up, you know. He got... He wanted to work certain days because he had a young son, right? And he wanted to be there for his son growing up. He said, I always told my son, because he had a battle coming into this world, I'd always be there for him. It was fantastic. And he said, I was at work and I was trying to change my shifts. I didn't want this and that. He said, and they weren't having it. He said, Dave, my people that I work for turned on me like a pack of dogs. He said, it was wicked. What I said, well, snake pit, innit? The old bit of a snake pit. Absolute snake pit. I've had some very happy memories about large cupboards. The world is hurtling towards a world government. Klaus Schwab is the new Ming of merciless. Yeah, he is, isn't he? Is as sinister as it gets. Maybe he's Dr. Evil and his past has been wiped. He runs the planet and big business agree. Jesus Christ. Well, let's hope he enjoys his trip to hell, eh? How many UN or EU military in UK police force forms in uniforms? Mate, I absolutely agree. You know, we've got a unit called the Territorial thingy, and they work for the Metropolitan Police. There's only over 700 of them, and they're not sworn in coppers. They're not sworn in. They don't swear an oath to serve and protect. So that's why they're just, and they're no different from the Wehrmacht, people. Come on, wake up, people. England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Come on, wake up. Be honest with yourself. Are you happy with what's going on right now? Are you? You're not going to have Christmas. You're burying your loved ones. You can't hug each other. You can't sit together. It's costing you fortunes. You can only have 30, but if you want 50, they charge you 250 quid. These people are vampires. They're vampires. Our public servants are merciless. It's all about the cash, man. It's all about the cash. Go have the cash, because it's all about the control, you see. The monetary system is the control lever, isn't it? Got to have a mortgage, got to have this, got to pay council tax, got to have you know, well, come on. Time to grow up, man. Time to grow up. Time to take back our country, ladies and gentlemen. Time to call time on this wicked, sinister, evil public servitudial system. Do you not agree? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. I really agree that it's time to end this wickedness. It's time to end it. We've got to have enough. We're having enough. Let's get nice people back doing nice things for this country, shall we? Let's stop being a begging bowl nation, having to beg for our little small mercies and liberties. Thankfully, there's a lot of us behind the scenes doing a lot of great things. Oh, yes, doing really good things, getting the right level on this system now. And it is in deep panic. It knows we're coming. It knows it. It feels it in every essence. It knows that the people are rising. Trust me, it really does. So, mate, if you're happy with attack dogs being used on women in the streets that are out peaceably protesting or exercising their freedom of expression, whatever, and then being mauled, half mauled to death by dogs, by attack dogs, I wish you a very pleasant future. I really do. And that's the dichotomy. If you turn, my thumbs don't work. Come on, Mikey. The thing is, what you allow will persist. If you don't stop this now, if you don't look, I've been up to London, right, a few times in the last year. I went up about 6 weeks ago to one of these Trafalgar Square protest things, and there was loads of people there. David Icke and all the other gorgeous ones were there, and the chosen ones, should I say. And we then went and walked down Downing Street, and we went to a little boozer, and down the side street there's this police base there with guys with machine guns and dogs. I'm thinking, fucking hell, my country's been militarised. I don't like it. I detest it. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. Where was she? I haven't seen that. Where was she? Oh, up north somewhere. She got attacked yesterday. Life-changing injuries. Life-changing injuries. Not she's been attacked by a dog and her legs hanging off and it clipped her vagina. No. Life-changing injuries, because they don't want everybody out there really paying too much attention to the words that they use. They don't want you sensationalising what actually happened, because they want it to just roll off the tongue as though it's normal. And it ain't normal. Police shouldn't be attacking us with dogs. Not unless you live in an occupied country from the Wehrmacht. Maybe. I mean, Hitler did say, if I can't control the world militarily, I'll do it economically. I think he's done a good job. Thumbs up. Thank you, Hugh. Very nice to see you, gorgeous. I haven't seen that. Where was she? Yeah, up north somewhere. I don't know where it was. It was in Bristol. I imagine she was out. Right, get off my bloody leg, you bastard. You know what he like? He loves it up there, they do's. That's how they talk down there, my lover. Gertlush and that. Look at that dog. He's Gertlush. Oh, he's tucking into your vagina, my love. I know he is. Look at him, sweet boy. Look, pat him on the head, will you? Pat him on. Fucking hell. Unbelievable. And I bet that cop went home and slept at night. I bet he put his head on his pillow and his missus went, oh, babe, you had a good day? Yeah. Yeah, no, I let my dog attack this woman today. He had a chew on her muff. Chewed her muff. Oh, you've had a lovely day. Here's another, have an extra sausage, love. Yeah. Do you want that curry sauce? Great. Yeah, go on, chuck that on there. Couple of beers. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna do you later. You're such a inspiring totalitarian. I just love the way you exercise force on people. Fucking hell. This country's going, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I actually love my country. That's why I dare to talk. That's why I dare to stand up. That's why I love it. I love it so much. I love the people. I love the environment. I love the ambience. I just like people from all different walks of life, different colours, races, creeds, you know. People can be so great. They really can. But yet we have this system that's so run by wicked, evil people. We've got to swap it out, peeps. I hope you're going to be brave enough soon. I really do. We need you all to start standing up and be counted, ladies and gentlemen. But if you passively accept what these people are doing, what these bastards are doing, attack dogs, men with machine guns, you have to realise that you're in the very early stages of 1936 Germany. This is the Bosch. You've been taken over. Our public servants were never, ever given these levels of authority and power over us ever before. We have to do something about this. Some surprising names in the 77th Brigade and MI5 resistance. I want to give a big shout out to Yolandi Kenwood. My friend in Canada yesterday, Edward Robin J. Bellinger, minister, he said to me, are you a Mason? I went, no, I'm not a Mason. People get asked, I'm not in the Masonry. I might as well join it. I might as well join the Masons. People think I am one, but I'm not. He said, only this woman's going around slagging you off, their lines. I said, look, bless her. I know exactly who you're talking about. You're talking about Yolandi Kenwood, aren't you? He said, how do you know you're psychic? I went, I've got a crystal ball, son. I said, no, I went to a school called Haberdasher Aske's in London. And her ex-husband went to Haberdasher Aske's in the posh part of the country where they talk very finely. Not the one I went to. And because we both went to the same school with the same name, miles apart, by the way, she accused me of being the Chillenden murderer. And I went, fuck me, you should have been a detective with them levels of skills, man. What deducement. Anyway, she's back on the war page. She said, I can't wait to see Dave Witter and that behind bars getting arrested. I'm like, this woman, love her art, I don't wish her any harm, has been sectioned more times than I've had hot dinners. And I wish her well, I wish her the best, and I hope she sorts her head out fast. She's sectioned every month, I think. The police always ran there locking her up and taking her to Priority House. So he went, all right, I've got it now. He said, now she's put me in the same camp. Because Edward wouldn't turn his back on me, not as though he has to like me or he doesn't. It's his prerogative. She's tarred him with the same brush now. He's been tarred. The woman's a Fruit Loop, bless her heart. I hope her and her family get round her and sort her out and she actually gets her head straight one day. I really do. And she was Kent Businesswoman of the Year one year. Unbelievable the way she's gone. Love her. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some electric shock therapy. I don't know. I wish her best. I wish Yolandi Kenwood the best. I hope she gets on all right. I saw someone rescued from arrest somewhere the other day. The police, Roland Ford got arrested yesterday. He said nothing, signed nothing. They let him go. No further action. There's a surprise. They hand out arrests like smarties. You know, years ago when the police were first formed, if they was going to arrest you and it didn't prove to be true, man, they were severely reprimanded. Let me tell you, they pulled over the coals because their only function is to keep the peace. That's their only function. And they're cowards now. Assault, ooh, assault. Oh, and then they come in like 4, 10 of them jump on you, smash all your ribs up, kill you, crucify you. That's what happens when you've got 10 lads laying on top of you. They're quite big as well, coppers, aren't they? Got them big bellies. They're laying on top of you and you crucify you. Oh, he's dead, look. Oh, fuck. We laid on him for too long. Assault! He's assaulted me! Oh! What a joke. They broke into my mate Lisa's house in Preston, up near Blackpool. Up that way, Blackpool Towers, not far from there. And she, like I said to you, she was in the Virgin Atlantic advert years ago. Saucy looking woman, real pretty girl. And because she'd upset her Masonic neighbour on a Friday night, she got her front door kicked in by a WPC and a PC. The WPC threw her hands up and went, "Oh, assault!" This is in her own home, by the way, the German Wehrmacht. And this male copper got hold of her around the scruff, and he's punching her in the face so badly, dislocated her shoulder, right? Smashed her up. She's laying on the floor. He's over the top of her on his knees, dribbling in her face while he's knocking her out. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. She see the lights going out like you would, and she said, "God, let me see my children again." And she woke up naked in a cell where she'd shit herself and pissed herself. Look, my programs are not for children. If you want Jack and Ori, go and watch the BBC. You're not going to find it over here. I'm brave enough to give you the God's honest truth, right? Dislocated her shoulder. She was nursing at the time. She had to pack up her job and everything. Unbelievable. These people are devils. They really are. They beat her up and almost killed her on her own hallway floor on a Friday night at 9 o'clock. Like you do. Like you do. Oh, assault! She just put her hands up in there and touched my eyelash. That's assault. You just assaulted an officer of the law. Do you know who I am? I'm fucking sick of it. I'm sick of them hiding behind this bullshit. Don't know about you. It's about time we held these motherfuckers to fucking ransom and sorted them out and got them back to the rule of law. Yeah? Get them back to the rule of law. They do stuff like that, they pay the price. They lose their job, they get demoted, they don't get no pensions, they don't get la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Let them suffer like every other fucker suffers. Had it all my life, 11 assaults of police for just resisting. Never laid my hands on one of them. Wish I had now. They're bastards, aren't they? Anyway, peeps, I'm going to go and use my gym. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. For the woman that got accosted yesterday and had all her legs mauled up by the coppers, dogs, I'm so sorry that happened to you. My public servants in my country now are very shameful people. And they have become the Wehrmacht. They are no better than German stormtroopers. And I'm brave enough to admit the truth. Are you? I truly ask you, are you brave enough to admit these truths to yourself? Or are we going to follow that big river in the Nile, denial, just follow that all their lives, saying, nah, it's all right, it's only the police, there must have been a reason. Because there's always got to be a reason. There's always got to be a reason why we wipe it over for these public servants and don't actually hold them accountable for the errors and the wicked, evil, despotic things that they're doing to us. Remember, no unusual or cruel punishments. Our Bill of Rights, no cruel or unusual punishments. You tell me. Till next time, I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go and beat Boris up now behind me. The more of you at home that are getting cheesed off with this thing called lockdown, the quicker you return to normal. If you continue to boost this thing and continue to stay in this thing called lockdown and that, you are going to manifest yourself a future that you're not going to like. It's time to grab yourself by the balls, grow a pair, stand up, venture out into the real world because it ain't that fucking bad. I love you. I'll see you all very soon.